Hello everyone, welcome to Noble Creative Tutorials. Today we have a new Stardust tutorial in our series and I will show you how to create pixel screen and how to use displacement map not to control particles position and looks but to project it on the particles itself, as you see in these examples using the power of Stardust. So create your composition and let's get started. So after create your composition, I have here in my comp Stardust already applied to this layer and some displacement maps that we're going to use, which just text animation and this icon. This is in black and white, and we have here in color also text animating, and we have another one which is using this PNG icon, also animating this whole thing here, which we are going to use on Stardust. So to build this, we need to change the type of emitter to grid and change the speed to 0. And so let's make the size X and Y to comp size and the Z to 1, and on grid properties let's give X 400 and Y 300 and Z to 1. We're going to have this dense look because the particles are big, so let's put this to 2 and we have this dense grid here. Okay, let's rename this to grid and duplicate it, and let's rename this grid 2 to P map and connect it to this emitter and add a field node to this, which by default is going to give us this field sphere field, and it's applied to everything. So we are going to connect this to P map, and so now it's just affecting this P map, and let's change this to map and change field type to maps, and nothing happening yet because we need to choose maps type to layer. We have graph color and we need a layer, and we're going to choose our map here. We're going to go for loading for now, and nothing happening yet because it's very important to choose the projection on X and Y because we have a grid here on X and Y. So as you see, if we turn this grid off, you see what we have here. We have this nice looking, and on map there's other properties that we can choose from. We have affected, we have opacity, size, color, and so on. And so if you see here, we have color, and if we change it to opacity, nothing happened, and that because if we change this loading to updating, which have this blue updating color, you see we're inheriting the colors, and if we choose opacity, it's just going to inherit the opacity, not the colors. So we need to choose color. Okay, if you are having something in color, that's what you need to choose. And so let's just back to loading, and here you can see we have this map mapped on a grid, and actually we don't want the grid to be here. We just want it to be this mapping to be only showing our loading and the icon. And the reason for this, we don't have transparency on this. So if we turn off this background and back here, now we have that transparency. See, so you can actually see it. So here we have only the map showing on that grid. And that's why we create this grid by itself, so we have more control on that. So on grid opacity, we're going to put it to 30. Let's change the life to 6 seconds for both. Okay, for just so we have more life. And so as you see now, we can do a lot of cool stuff to the grid background, which is right here. We can make it, we can play on randomness. You see, we can create very interesting look to that. It is pretty cool. So just put that to 0. And if we create a camera, let's enable. Now we can have all that 3D stuff going on here. Everything is in one layer, and the cool thing about this is reacting to depth of field. So if we turn on the depth of field, we're going to have some going. Let's see here. So Stardust is reacting to that depth of field, and that's a very cool thing. So let's actually animating this, create a nice animation for the camera. So we have this nice animation of the camera here, and as you see, we have everything is reacting as it should be of that mapping. It's inheriting the animation of the icon and text here, and so we can do so much things here. And for example, on our mapping, there's more properties here. For example, there is affecting. If we choose position, we have here affected property, and we have position. So now we can affecting the position of those particles and apply it to X, Y, or Z, and so on. So if we choose C, we're applying that to Z. So we're just going to take whatever map and move it on space. So as you see here, we have that. Zero is on the grid, and as we move that, it's displace it on space. Okay, so let's put that to 100, and just if we choose opacity, I already explained the difference between opacity and color, and we have size, and size here is doing a different thing. So just adding size to that map if you want to animating something like that. And there's rotation and textures, and that's another thing. But there's very important things here to mention is if we go to Emer and change the size, you'll see that we're affecting our map here. Let's see, for example, we want to cover this gap here, so you need to make a big size of the grid, but the map is affected. So on map field here, we are going to change size type to size X, Y, and Z, and as you see, it's getting very small here. So let's choose this color as it should be. And here we have field properties. We have size X, Y, and Z. And let's make this the comp size. You see now we're getting that we're only controlling the size of our map, and we can actually place this wherever we want. So we have more control here. You can animate that and so on as well. And so let's make this look nice. So let's add a solid and make background, and add a adjustment layer and apply curve. And so we can give you some contrast, duplicate that. Okay, this looks pretty nice. And here, as you see, if we go back to our map here, I have this blurring, which just blur this and apply to it levels just so it's not crashed. To make it more obvious here. That's what we have, and that's so if we put something like this, we are going to get some nice like blend in here these dots, and so you can't see that much if we duplicate it. Let's make this screen, and you see now it's brightest, and if we duplicate this and maybe put that to add, we are getting this add blending mode, but we're adding to everything, which we don't want to. We can disable this grid and just use it on the text here or our map, but there's a better way to do this. And to actually doing it, let's delete this. We can do it in one layer inside Stardust. So here, let's duplicate this text, Control D, and connect this right on a mirror. And on map 2, we have transform mode. Let's do that to add. So by changing that to add, we are getting some nice add there, as you see here. I'm not sure if you can see on the screen. So there's a little bit of that adding right there, and we have more control over the opacity of that. We can do the same for the grid, Control D, and put that to add or maybe screen. And here, let's change this opacity. Okay, so let's go back here and turn off the blur. And so that's what we're getting now. And so the blur here just so you get a nice blend with the background. You would like this look and so on. And there's another tip. Let's change this to different map. Let's choose update. Updating map, And here we have we can add a fractal noise to this if we want to create a dead pixels for this updating, for example. So here we get this look. As you see here, there's a dead pixels and brighter ones, and we can actually animate in this. Let's put down multiply. You can even animate that if you want to. I already have it animated here. The opacity of fractal noise. So we can get that here as well. Here need to be. So let's preview this now. So as you see here, we are getting that nice fractal noise effect right there, and just preview this in half resolution. So that's why it's not looking that perfect yet. If we choose that to full, you can actually see it more. But we're going to stylize this so we can even get it better looking. So I have here this texture, and we are going to make this 3D, and let's make it screen and hit T for opacity and lower the opacity, and maybe apply curve. Let's duplicate this and put one behind here and offset positions of each one. So we have some nice texture on that, and we can add our tip to field to make this more interesting, and we're going to animate distance, focus distance. Okay, so we're just creating a cell tip to field here, and so we can actually do very cool stuff. Maybe let's turn off this fractal noise, and we can add channel blur and change the overall look for this. So actually you can do so much things with these and styling it, but there's another more tip here is not just this that can be as a map, but actually can be picture, it can be a footage and anything. I have this from Adobe stock, this nice video here, and just by placing this here and coming back, we are getting this very nice everything that we were doing here, and we can make this very interesting actually by adding other nodes such as turbulence node, and let's change the position offset to around 3 or 200. So now we're getting a very cool looking here. And let's animate this and then back to 0. So hope you get the idea what you can do with projecting a map in Stardust. It can be anything such as footage, photo, or create your own map and then project it on different shapes. So let's preview and see how this looks like. So as you see in this preview, this is look pretty cool and we can actually do much more than this. So this was just an overview on how to use maps and project them inside Stardust, and hope this was very useful for you guys. If you have any questions, you can comment and I will try to help as much as I can. And if you like this tutorial, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos coming soon. Thank you for watching.